When it comes to self-improvement and doing the inner work, it is very important to be honest with yourself. And when I mean being honest with yourself is when you're going into this path of self-improvement, self-development, many people overlook the fact that they have dark emotions. They have all these insane thoughts that run inside their mind. They have all these trapped dark emotions inside, and they fail to acknowledge them. It's like you're not really acknowledging them. You're not really bringing light to these dark emotions. And many gurus, they teach and they preach telling that they are divine, they are positive beings, that they don't experience any dark emotions. But that's not true. You have to be very honest with yourself, because only when you embrace, only when you acknowledge these dark emotions, you can bring them to light and actually let go of them. And the whole point is because society is kind of shaming us, like we have been programmed to not, you know, feel good when we experience dark emotions. It's like we have been conditioned into believing that it is not okay to experience insane amounts of anger. It is not okay to experience all these dark thoughts when we are upset, when we are angry, when we are in grief, when we are in pain. Now that is so against, working on your inner self. That is so against even manifestation. Because only when you do the inner work, manifestation becomes so much more easier. Because your external is a reflection of your internal reality. So when you're doing the inner work, it's very important to acknowledge all these dark emotions that are present inside and all these dark thoughts that are running, because emotions are the basis of the thought patterns that are running inside our mind. Now, when you're angry, you may have certain thoughts of hurting somebody. You may have all these insane dark thoughts of hurting the world, punishing everybody who has hurt you. And there's no judgment here, because even I experience these dark emotions, especially when I'm in pain, when I'm feeling anger, when I'm feeling insane amounts of pain because of something external that happened. Now, I'm not perfect. I experience all of these emotions. I'm not distancing myself from them, but the only difference is I acknowledge them. As soon as I feel anger, as soon as I feel all these dark emotions, I acknowledge them. I'm like, yes, I feel like hurting this person. I feel like hurting the world. I acknowledge them, let them come up, embrace them. And only then it helps me to let go of it and choose the light no matter what. Now, I made an entire video on how you're just one bad day away. We're all just one bad day away from turning into a supervillain or turning into somebody that we fear or the world fears. In that, the reason why all that happens is because we tend to ignore all these bad emotions. And even I'm being completely honest here, even I'm not perfect. There can be one bad day that happens to me, like now or in the near future, which can completely change the person I am. Now, all the bad days that I've experienced in the past, didn't turn me into a supervillain, because there was some light that was present there, some light which was guiding me. And that happened because I was consistently putting myself into this higher vibrational state. I was completely aligning myself to this higher vibrational state, and also having hope, having faith in the universe, in higher energy, or whatever you may want to call it. So it all starts from being honest with yourself. Whenever you're feeling angry, whenever you're feeling, or whenever you're feeling love, whenever you're feeling any form of emotions, like it is a very good practice to be honest. Like, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling? Just do a self audit. Like, what are the best parts of yourself? What are the things that you don't really like? And be very honest with yourself. Because only when you are honest, you speak it out, or you can journal it, you can write it down on a piece of paper, you can have a journal, just put an entry, then you can analyze. Like, okay, I feel this way about myself. Why do I feel that? Because most of the times when you are feeling really insecure, when you're feeling insane amounts of anger, It's because something has happened. There is some situation connected to it. Because you never came out of your mother's womb, feeling insecure, having all this anxiety, feeling insane amounts of anger. It's because all this anger, all these feelings of guilt, shame, hate, apathy, anger has been programmed into you, programmed into your mind. And most of the times, you don't even have to reprogram yourself. All you have to do is deprogram yourself from this old limiting self beliefs. Just you have to uninstall these bad programs and install new programs. That's all it is. So start being honest. If you have some dark nature, some darkness within you, just let it out. Bring it to light. You cannot fight darkness with more darkness. The only way to fight darkness is by turning on the light, by bringing it to light. So bring out the darkness in you. Now, the reason why we don't want to bring out the darkness or we don't want to acknowledge it is because we are afraid. And in a way, it's not really bad. We want to protect ourselves from us. We want to protect our belief systems from our belief systems. You see how deep the rabbit hole goes? We are afraid of ourselves. We are afraid for what we can do if you are consumed by these dark emotions, if you are consumed by this dark nature that we have inside us. So let go of the fear. It's okay. I have darkness within me. You have darkness within you. Everybody has some form of some amount of darkness within them. The only key differences between a supervillain and people who are heroes is how you utilize that darkness. Are you embracing it and letting it go? Or are you embracing it and letting it take control? Because if you keep avoiding it, if you don't want to acknowledge it, you always, fool yourself telling, I am divine, I am a positive person, I am very kind, I never have bad thoughts. You are not really fooling anybody on the external, you are fooling yourself. If you keep saying these lies, you just keep that darkness, the dark energy inside, hidden, without, the light shining on it. And when this dark energy is kept in the dark, it becomes darker, it grows more and more. And one day, it consumes you, especially when you are experiencing emotions of anger, shame, guilt, hate. Consumes you, and you would turn into a supervillain or somebody you wouldn't even recognize. And you would start hurting the people around you, hurting the people that you love. So it's better late than never. Even then, you have the time to, embrace the light, let go of the darkness. But, prevention is better than cure. So start now. Start being honest with yourself. Just be honest. Like, what do you feel inside? Why do you feel that? Instead of just being afraid to face your inner demons, instead of putting it away, bring it to light. Because only when you bring it to light, you can dissolve the darkness. And, you can have access to that luck energy, that grace energy, which can actually pull you when you lost all willpower, when you lose everything, like you don't even have hope, faith in anything. It's that grace energy, it's that luck, some higher vibration kind of pulls you out from that pitfall, from that rabbit hole that you put yourself in. And that is what happened to me several times throughout my entire life. So many times when I lost hope, when I lost faith, when I lost, belief in everything, that's when something pulled me out. It's like the light reached out with this invisible hand. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. It pulled me out and gave me back all the hope which I had lost. So, bring out the darkness and be very honest with yourself. It doesn't really matter what's on the inside. You may feel like hurting millions of people. It's okay. Let it dissolve as a feeling itself. Don't, let it manifest into action. Don't let it manifest into reality.